Hey everyone, one of West Coast Muscle Saws. I was digging through some of the archives of some of my old videos and whatnot, and I came upon some of my repairs. I used to do training for the vintage chainsaws, the McCulloch CP 125, and I came across one that I'd made back in year 2000. That was a few years before YouTube came around and I started doing YouTube videos. This one's probably half hour long, something like that, so if you really want to see how a CP 125 is torn down, inspected, and put back together, and then started up at the end of the video, sit back and enjoy some vintage ChainsawGuy Sawking videos. Let me get set up and we'll let you take a look at it. This is on a CD that I made back in the year of 2000. Kind of interesting. Let's get you fine-tuned here.
Hi. We're going to tear down a CP 125 McCulloch. This was a very popular saw with the timber cutters. They loved this saw. It was a very reliable, powerful saw. You could run a 60-inch bar and chain on it, cut down big timber, and the maintenance on it was easy. And I'm going to just show you with a few basic tools here how you can tear the saw down and restore a real classic. Let's get started. What we're going to do first is take off the handlebars. There's a lower handlebar bracket. We're going to take it off next. It's right here. And the handlebar just comes right out. Set it off to the side. Next, we're going to take the fuel tank off. Get the cleaner cover off. 4 bolts in there. We'll take those 4 bolts out. There's 2 bolts on the front oil tank. Take those loose. This just pops right off. There's a pulse line right here. We're going to loosen that. And this whole tank will just come right off. Unhook your wiring right here. Tank. Set it to the side. Take off the starter housing. Ours was missing the starter. The starter was pulled out, not in very good shape. I've got another starter. I'll clean it all up and then we'll have a starter for it. But this is just your housing. We're going to take the big falling spikes off, the big dogs they use here, and on the big timber. It's a very large spike. We'll take it off next. 3 bolts, 7/16 socket, and a screwdriver is what you need on that. And there's your falling spike. Grab about 7/16 again. We're going to take the oil tank off. Get 4 bolts. Take those off. When you pull this off, there's going to be a stuffer plate. Let's just watch for it. There's the stuffer plate right there. This one's got a bad gasket, but we'll round up another one. I got some used parts. Set that to the side. Next, we're going to take off the rear shroud. 2 bolts down here. And there's 2 bolts on the top. I'll take those bolts. One screw on the side here. You've got an electrical wire, kill wire, up underneath there. We're going to take that loose. Right here. It just unhooks. And this is ready to come off. Okay, we're going to take that shroud off, all the way off now. 2 bolts here, remove the coil, and everything will just come right off. And that's your spark plug wire. There's the shroud, motor mounts, compression release, everything right there, and we'll set it to the side. Take off the manifold, the reed intake here. Let's just say over here. Let's take out this manual oil plunger rod. The way you do that is just pull this back just gently, and that rod will just pull right out. Take the clutch off, slide off the clutch. There's a bearing underneath there and a thrust washer. And it's kind of nice to put a nylon cable through here, lock it, and set it to the side and keep it all together. Take off the flywheel. Talk about removing this flywheel on this McCulloch chainsaw. I know everybody knows a mechanic that knows how to take these flywheels off in 5 minutes. 5-minute Eddie. He likes to wail away with a big old hammer and take this flywheel off. Well, let's not have Eddie work on this flywheel and tell him to go home with his pry bars. Don't be driving pry bars underneath the flywheel here. Try and get this flywheel off. McCulloch has drilled this flywheel, and it will accept the puller, and I'm going to demonstrate how to take this flywheel off. puller, mount it to the flywheel. Turn these where they bottom out. Take a crescent wrench, get a good firm grip on this handle, and take this bolt down just snug, and then give this a couple hard turns, and that'll just pop right off. Safe way to remove it, and does no damage to the flywheel. And if you don't have a puller and you got any questions about getting these flywheels off on your project, stop by the local saw shop. Most all shops have all the pullers and anything you need to pull these flywheels off, and they'll assist you. There's a keyway in there, we want to take that out. Put that with your flywheel. Stick it on there, that way it's always there, won't lose it. I'm going to take off the plate here. Six screws here hold it on. Get the rubber mounted again and just lightly bump this. Comes right off. There's a couple capture nuts that set in here for your starter housing. Just make sure you don't lose those. And we're down to the block. Take off the connecting rod bolts. Now be careful here, there is 24 roller bearings that you need to keep track of. They'll just fall loose here when you loosen this up. Bearings. Push them to the side, and we're going to count them a little bit, make sure we got them all. Push that rod all the way down to the bottom. Make sure it's all the way to the bottom. You've got a little indentation here. Line up the bottom of the crank connector there to that indentation, and we're going to lightly knock it out too, bump it out. There's the crank. Piston assembly up. There you go, you've got a CP125 down to just bare block. You can take it out and give it a good cleaning. Piston appears to be in very good shape for this old saw. A little carbon there, but that'll clean right off. And the rings and everything look good, just needs a good cleaning. We'll put it back together. Stories abound about these McCulloch chainsaws. They were very popular. The guys just loved them. It's kind of like a cult thing. If you didn't have a McCulloch chainsaw, you did not work in the woods. There were many stories about doing almost a major teardown right on the stump. They would tear the saw down. One guy was known for putting a set of rings in one out in the brush. and it can be done. Make sure you got 24, 12 on each side, and put a little bit of grease right on this connecting rod, and start setting the bearings in there. Okay, when you get them on there, I like to count again, and make sure I do have 12 on that cap, or on that rod. The rod cap. And do the same thing, put some grease on the bottom there. Put the other 12 bearings on. And then count again, make sure you get 12 on this side. These are a matched set, or a matched rod. Make sure you got a little indentation on this side, matches a little indentation on the other part of the rod. The way you install these, reach in there with a pair of needles again, pull the rod back, slide it in there. Right there, we got the little dimple on the rod right there. You got the dimple right there. Match it up, slide it on there, and tighten it up. Rotate it 360 degrees, make sure everything's free, turns good. And now we're on to putting the other parts onto it. Put the intake reed on next. 4 bolts. Next we're going to put on the little side case here, and it does take a little bead of silicone. corner, just a very light coat. Lightly bump it back on. And line up the screw holes. Now these points here, you should set those. It'd be a good time to set them now, clean them. Set them at 15 thousandths. And that should be real close so we can time it after we get it all together for running. These are the little covers that hold the point in place. Got a little piece of felt there that helps protect the points. Get them started, and we'll tighten them up. Check them, make sure they're all tight. And you gotta just about assemble short block for a CP125. Next, we'll put on the oil tank. Make sure your gaskets and the stuffer plate line up good. I do like to use hand tools going back together on these 125s. You could use air. These saws are so vintage and delicate though, you could damage some parts with air before you know it and ruin your project. So I like to use the hand tools. Okay. Put in the manual oil plunger. Lightly pull that back. Line it up in the hole. Pop it a few times, make sure it's working good and smooth. Take the cylinder cover shroud. Line it up. Start this screw. Line up the mount holes. I'm going to put the mount in now. Tuck them down. Now this one I had the compression release was, the whole decompression valve was watered out. I plugged that off. This saw will start real easy. We won't need that compression release. A lot of times these were plugged off. The guys didn't like them. That was a trouble area. So we went ahead and plugged it off with a plug there. The lever is still operational, but the compression release doesn't work. Next we'll put our ignition in place. Take them up snug, not tight. We're going to put the clearance on them in a little bit. The lower bolts in. And start looking a little bit more like a chainsaw now. Put the clutch side on, thrust washer, lube this bearing. Cinch that up. Tighten that clutch up now. Take your keyway, put it in the crankshaft. Look your flywheel over good, make sure you haven't picked up any foreign objects, screws, shavings, or anything else been laying around. And we're going to tighten it up. Just snug, we're not going to do it real tight right now. When you torque these down, you get you a small round metal dowel. You can also use an Allen wrench. There's a little hole right here. And that slides in there and locks the flywheel. And then you can torque it down. And we'll do the clutch the same way. Okay. Okay, we're going to put the fuel tank on. Now this would probably be the biggest challenge putting this together. There's about 3 things that need to happen all at once. You need to make sure you get this connector boot lip over this intake. Make sure your pulse line's plugged in. And then this manual pump rod needs to be in this little area right here. There's a little hole in this oil plunger. And then you hook up your electrical wires. Sounds more complicated, but it just takes a little bit of practice. Hook up your pulse line first. Pull the pulse line from the top side just a little bit. Make sure your connector boot's going into place. Pull out the oil plunger rod a little bit to line up that hole. And there it is. Okay, let's put the 4 screws in your tank here. Now's a good time to set the clearance on the flywheel against the magneto. Get you a 15 thousandths feeler gauge. Loosen the magnet or coil. Rotate it till the magnet comes up against the coil. And then torque the bolts up. Okay, we're going to put the starter on, and to install the starter, slide this boot in this slot here, cover your spark plug, pull that rope out, and as it comes down, release it, and that'll let it slide into place. Pull the rope out, and slowly release it, and it locks into place like that. Torque all the starter screws up right now. Line everything up, start your lower handlebar bolts. Torque them down snug. Put your spacers in, these keep the handlebars from crushing. And the handlebar brackets on each side. Cinch this one up. Put the big falling spikes on. Oil cap, gas cap. I'm going to get me a different top cover. I didn't like the looks of this one. This one somebody's modified it. I'm going to go out and pick one of those out. I've got some spare parts out in my storage. And we'll round me up a muffler, side cover, and we'll put a bar and chain on it. We'll go outside and see how this CP runs. Well, here it is, the CP125 with a 60-inch bar chain, and we're going to start it up and see how it runs.